Hello there, Taurus. Welcome to DragonTaleTarot. My name is Ariel, and this is your full moon reading for November 2019. This is all about you. I've got my beautiful full moon light. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got all the different patterns of the full moon. This is a favorite little light of mine that I really don't get to play with enough. So I'm bringing them out for this full moon. So this one's all about you. This is the full moon of the year that happens in Taurus, and it's very, very exciting for you guys. We're going to go through some of your astrological patterns and what that's going to mean for you during this full moon, and get into, the past, the present, and the future patterns that are going to be coming up. First, a few quick notes before we get started that this is a general reading. It will not resonate with every single Taurus out there. So if it doesn't resonate with you, kick it on out. If it does resonate with you, those are your messages. This will mostly correspond to Taurus Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising signs, and maybe even me with the Jupiter and Taurus. So Jupiter is also a big one in there. If you have Jupiter or other planets, gathered up in a certain sign, definitely could speak to you as well. This will also be for all Taurus cross-watchers who are welcome to join us too. Information on booking personal readings and the card decks I used are all going to be in the description box below. And for all of you that are waiting on personal readings, thank you for your patience. I've been having a lot of off and on allergy stuff because it is leaf blower season here, so they kick those leaves up and it drives me crazy. So thank you again, and I will definitely be working on those this week. So without further ado, Taurus, let us get into this. This is all about you. So this full moon is going to affect your first house universally in the astrological chart, and the balance on the opposite end, because when the moon's in Taurus, the opposite is the sun is going to be in Scorpio. So that is hitting your relationship house and your house of identity. So you may be feeling a little push and pull between yourself and other people, how you balance your relationships and giving time to yourself versus giving time to them, how you harmonize and balance that. And you will be doing a lot of review around those areas because we are still in that Mercury retrograde, yes, and it is moving through that relationship house universally for you. And so love and relationships is coming way up to the surface right now. So don't be surprised, Taurus, if you are really doing a whole lot of review. Don't be surprised too if you've had people from your past, whether it's a romantic partner, friends from the past, coworkers from the past, anybody that you hadn't seen or thought about in a while coming back up to the surface. This last full moon for you, the Aries full moon that happened in October, was a very, very emotional, very spiritual full moon for you. And so we are going to be looking at the past and what those energies have done for you, so far since this last month's cycle. And then we're going to look at what's happening right now and get into the future of what's coming next around this full moon energy. So let's go ahead and start. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, ancestors, helpers, and healers, please be with the sun, moon, Venus, and rising sign of Taurus as we do their full moon reading for November 2019. Please protect their energy as well as mine and bring through clear, accurate messages for their highest good. Thank you so much. All right, Taurus, so look at this. The full moon is the first card that comes up. So this is in your immediate past position around that Aries full moon that we had, and this says surrender to the divine. So for you, Taurus, I think that this past full moon was very, very powerful for you on a deeply spiritual level. Surrendering to spirit, surrendering to the divine flow of life is really what you came out of that with. And what you're still integrating right now. As you go into the full moon in Taurus, it activates your first house universally, which is the Aries house. And so we've got the new moon energy in Aries happening for you right now. It's time to take action. And so this full moon, whereas the last one was more spiritual, more reflective, more contemplative, this one, Taurus, will spur you into a lot of action and new growth. So it's very fresh, very new energy. New moon in Aries is like the birth of ideas, the birth of creation and initiation. So getting into the immediate future is a cardinal moon energy, cardinal moon sign, cardinal modality. That is leadership energy. And so the signs associated with cardinal energy are Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Libra. You may have somebody important in your life with one of those signs, or you may have some of those signs in your personal chart, which really would make this resonate even deeper. But what this is, again, it's interesting. Be bold and make the first move, because cardinal energy is all about taking the initiation, taking the initiative to make, you know, the first move and be bold. And so it's like, it's kind of, you know, jumping off of this present energy that you're going to be feeling with your full moon coming to you in Taurus. This is time to take action and then be bold and make the first move. So Taurus, this is really moving you into a time of, you know, maybe you have felt for a while that it's just like, when are things going to move? When are they going to get going? And so this is like you making them get going. So it's a very fiery energy. Taurus, I'm telling you what, ever since I started this channel, so many of your readings, I won't say all, but a lot, a lot have been very fiery, very, very feisty, very strong kind of energy. So, you know, I like that because, you know, I'm the dragon. So we like that fire energy, but I'm telling you, if you have been dealing with, and I know a lot of you Tauruses have, a lot of my Taurian friends have really been dealing with a feeling that that it's really like things are slow, that they're not moving, that it's hard for you to make a decision regarding going forward. And so to me, as we go into this full moon of your sign, this is like kind of giving you a little of a green light here finally, that this energy is like it's coming to that fruition where it's like, and then think about Taurus last year in November. That was when the full moon was last in Taurus. So think just about, you know, get a little time to reflect and think about this past year and the energy that's gone by. Just think about, you know, how much you've changed, how much you've grown since the moon was last full in your sign. So let's pull some more cards. All right, Taurus. So coming up in that past position, surrender to the divine is gratitude, last quarter moon. So it's like, even with the hard things, Taurus, even with the difficult challenges, even with things that have been painful, it's so important to embrace the feeling of gratitude, that you've made it through, that you've gotten through it, that you've overcome so much. And anything that's good in your life, it's like, be grateful for that as well, of course, because it's like the more that you embrace the gratitude, the more that you will draw those good things to you. And so going into the future, time to take action with the waxing gibbous moon. This is going to the full. So this is like, here's that fear. Okay, this is what's coming up for you. Around this time, it says time to take action, and comes the fear. So it's like there is that fear of like, can I do it? Can I make it? I know it's time to move, but I'm kind of afraid to do it. I'm afraid to take that leap. But, you know, Taurus, this is definitely time to take that leap. So this is what you're going to be working through. You got to punch through that fear. Even if you're afraid, go forward. Even if you're afraid, you know, keep moving, because it's like the fear is what keeps you back. That's what's been holding you back a lot of the time. And now it's time to really face your fears and be brave and be bold and courageous. Over top of being bold and making the first move on that cardinal moon, here comes that harvest moon with fruition. And that harvest moon, I believe, is a September moon. Yeah, that's the September moon. September moon is definitely the harvest moon. So this could also say, Taurus, that, you know, something you experienced in this September recently was really a big deal for you, and whatever's, you know, started then is coming to fullness now. The other thing that this could say is that you may be starting something now that, you know, really bears a lot more fruit and a lot more fullness once we get into next year in September, which is Virgo time, which is very, very nice energy for Taurus because it's another earth sign. So you may be experiencing a culmination from this recent September. You may also be going forward to September next year. So whatever you plant, Taurus, just keep that in mind, that you may be working. This is like big picture stuff. It's like this is the long game going out here, which I really, really like. So let's see what comes up next. I'm going to move Mr. Dragon over here. We're going to continue with this energy of past, present, and future. And I'm just going to pull some tarot along with this. Yeah, so Taurus, oh my goodness, let's look at this. The other thing that as I was shuffling, Spirit kept tapping me was like, make sure to tell them not to start anything major until after November 20th, because that's when the Mercury retrograde ends. And like I said, you're going to be initiating some new actions, some new things. So if you can hold off until after November 20th, that will be a lot better, because it's better to start new things after Mercury is going direct. So here in this past energy, on top of gratitude and surrender to the divine, is the Knight of Swords. And to me, this brings up a couple different issues for you, Taurus, because Knight of Swords is that it's that air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and it's also gets into, you know, sometimes your mind just running overload. You know, it's like it really brings up some of that stress, anxiety, worries, things like that just kind of run and run and run, because if you can't actively physically do something, your mind just kind of takes over and it goes, oh my goodness, how am I going to get there? What am I going to do? And it can really do a number on you for anxiety. So let's pull a clarifier on that Knight of Swords. Yeah, because I think that this is really anything that you've had anxiety about in the recent past, especially Taurus. This is that Page of Pentacles coming up, and to me this is all about, you know, starting something new, especially when it comes to something financial or business related. It's like either starting a new job, starting a new business, starting something new for your career, if it's related to education especially. So this has all been what you've been really contemplating on, the things that have been really getting to you. And on top of that Fear card, look at this, the Judgment card comes out, Taurus. So to me, this is you definitely facing those fears, facing whatever has been, you know, kind of waiting underground inside your psyche. And then that, you know, the angel blows that trumpet, this sound comes out, and it's like, wake up. It's like, come out of that phase, come out of that sort of hibernation that you've been in, or that slumber that you've been in. And if it's been due to fear, it's like you've been in a period of inactivity because you've been afraid to move. And so this is really saying, you know, it's like it wakes up that deep kind of primal spiritual feeling inside of you that urges you into action. It's really beautiful. So let's see what modifies this card for you. Yeah, because this is overcoming a lot of conflict. You've been very conflicted about this, Taurus. And sometimes there's even been people in the mix that have been really difficult for you as well. So it's like there is overcoming a lot of conflict, a lot of feeling of, you know, it's like resistance to every time you've tried to move forward. It's like you feel like this, you know, energy rises up, whether it's through situations or people or financial obligations, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't win for losing. So that's really, you know, what's getting brought up to be overcome here, Taurus. Going into that, you know, immediate future, here comes that Four of Cups, and that's sitting on top of the fruition. So to me, Taurus, this is really telling me a couple things. It's like, don't take the gifts you have for granted, because to me that's something people many times overlook about this Four of Cups. You know, look at that, he's got the three and they're really awesome, but he's worrying about, well, what about that fourth cup? You know, what about that other thing that I want? And it's like, Taurus, focus on the here and now. This is looking really good. So don't worry yourself too much about, you know, that other cup, if you focus on taking care of the ones that are right in front of you and the things that are emotionally and spiritually fulfilling right now, that will take care of itself. So don't take good things for granted, and also do not let other people take you for granted, because you are very valuable. So let us pull a modifier card over that Four of Cups and just see what comes up here. Okay, so Taurus, two kind of stuck together, and I pulled them both. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Look at that. The Star and the Ten of Pentacles came up on top of that Four of Cups, because here you go. Don't take anything for granted, because look how good it is. Look how beautiful that energy is. The Star is the first one I saw, so I'm going to say that one comes first. And to me, the Star is, this is a super Aquarius energy, so if you have any Aquarius in your chart, or a person that's an Aquarius in your life, very, very significant there. And this is also saying that you have come through hell and high water, you have gone through the suffering, you've gone through the challenges, and you have come out so beautifully. And then look at that Ten of Pentacles. This is such beautiful fulfillment that's on a tangible, solid level, not just financially, but also home, hearth, happiness, all of that. So let's pull a starseed affirmation for you for this full moon, Taurus, and see what you get for this one. Just pushing and shoving in there. Pick me, pick me. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, Taurus, look at that transcendence. That's it right there. Transcend your mind's limitations and allow your soul's light to truly shine. So it's going into the past. That, you know, the mind's limitations, the worries, the anxiety, the fears that have held you back, Taurus, and you're transcending that to allow your light to truly shine forward. So this is all about, you know, facing those fears, overcoming them, and transcending into the next level. What a great reading for you guys. Have a beautiful full moon, and I will see you guys again very soon. Take care.